is the video explaining what basically my page is about. The truth about all serial killers is they are all religious fanatics that all come from churches and religion. They are not special, they are not unique in any way, they are malignant narcissists. And we're going to begin how video will simply explain how they are created and what they do. So, the first thing you need to know about a malignant narcissist or narcissist of any condition is they're severely emotionally stunted from childhood trauma. The way churches do it is they rape them. That's why you always see those things about them covering up pedophilia or a priest being a pedophile and all that other shit. They have to molest them to emotionally stunt them. So let's read the glorious psychology that is a malignant narcissist. Chronic self-absorbed, self-preoccupied behavior. They think of themselves first. Limited or complete lack of empathy, lack of guilt or remorse, disregard for your well-being, safety, and those you love. They do what feels best. They do not learn from past mistakes and continue to repeat behaviors that have negative consequences. Lack of self-reflection. Inability to take your perspective, stand in your shoes. History of conflict and drama in relationships. History denying reality due to effective realism. Reality is what it feels like versus what it is. History of distorting reality, making up new narratives about situations to deal with it. History of impulsive behavior, more feeling than thinking, so they do what feels best. Enmeshment in relationships instead of emotional intimacy. That means they cannot love. May focus on physical things versus emotional. They do not do emotional work. They do not know how to repair relationships effectively. Spiteful behavior, the need to get back at them, teach them a lesson for perceived injustices. Meaning, if you offend them, they have to get back at you. And the other side of this is passive-aggressive, meaning they're assholes. Blaming others when things go wrong. They have no agency or accountability in their lives. That means they cannot take responsibilities for actions because they're the victim in everything. They are a permanent victim. Responsibility is the escape from the victim mindset. Lying to avoid uncomfortable situations, refusing to be held accountable for their actions. That is what a malignant narcissist is. Now, they are also extremely charismatic. What does charismatic mean? It means they're likable when you meet them because they have learned you can't just go around and be a complete piece of shit and have people like you. Also, they're trained by the church to be charismatic. They know what to say. That mixed with tetraled brain, which is where psychopaths come from. If you expose a child to tetraled or lead in any type of circumstances, the heavy metal, it causes them to be neurotic and weird, but it also causes addiction, psychopathy, anxiety, paranoia to some extent, and I really hope I'm not forgetting one of these, but basically psychosis and dissociative emotional disorder. That's where you believe your emotions might be coming from somewhere else, like God. But narcissists also pretend their emotions come from somewhere else to make sure everybody knows everything is about how they feel. It's not about logic, it's not about reason, it's not about truth or justice. Now, in this church, the second thing they learn is Friedrich Nietzsche, who is a nihilist, who pretends he's not a nihilist, but everything he does is doublespeak nihilism for dummies. Okay? He'll tell you, nihilists have no morals, they have no values, and then tell you in another line, throw out your morals and values, those are a cage. Okay? He does this frequently through his work. So they are blowhard nihilists. Secondly, if the religion is based in the end of days or latter days or end of times, they are all nihilists because they believe the world's coming to an end. So why do you care about anything? You should only care about what the church wants because you're a nihilist. As soon as you become your friend is a part of any religion that involves that, they are worshiping a malignant narcissist who is a serial killer, and they're going to lie about it. Because one, your friend's either an idiot and actually believes that person isn't a serial killer because they're too good. And the other side is LSD. If you ever find yourself a part of a church that pops LSD, which I would argue should be relabeled a cult, because if your religion is strictly about using drugs, it should be called a cult. A cult is practicing the occult. That is anything not in mainstream, like human sacrifice, or cult tactics, which involve love bombing, manipulating, lying, controlling, all these things. The malignant narcissist has extreme control issues and disguises them. They lie about being malignant narcissists. One of the guy that tried to murder me in Ackworth frequently said there's no narcissistic supply. The narcissistic supply is the fucking church. You dumbass. But he knew that, and he was lying. Poisoning people with heavy metals is a standard operating procedure with these people, because church members specifically exist in the victim mindset or trauma brain. So sympathy and empathy feel like traps to them, and what they want is control. And they want someone to be in control. Specifically, their malignant narcissist leader, and anybody that makes them feel like they're not in control is the enemy. And they need to be killed because they upset the balance of the effective realism. That is another part of being emotionally stunted. Effective realism is very important. It means that they just believe anything into existence, and it's real because they believe it, like a 2-year-old. When you mess with their objective realities, they get pissed because they have to do with reality. That thing all normal people live in, they don't like it. Okay? So what I'm saying here is the root of all evil in America and the root of all evil in the world is actually religion. They are both the devil and the gods, okay? And part of the whole religious killings and human sacrifices is to scare people so they go to church. That is the whole game. It's really stupid when you think about it. The other side of this is you cannot hold religious people to account for their actions in court. You cannot say this is his religion, therefore he did it. That is against the separation of church and state. The way the separation of church and state should actually go should be, you are being tried for what you did. We don't give a fuck about your religion, but we know from your religion that this is something you do. Let the record show. The other side is from the separation of church and state. The other thing that these people do, because they are large groups of fascist people who worship a malignant narcissist, is they take over your local police station. And your local police might seem pretty useless against some people. If some guy's acting out and they're trying to murder you and you call the police and they do nothing, that's a sign that your police station has been taken over by these people, because they will not act against their own members. And the other side to all religion that everybody should always know is their rules and laws and all that bullshit only apply to their members. They do not apply to you, okay? I know that when they were beating and waterboarding me, they explained to me, because they told me they had a non-aggression principle, but the non-aggression principle only applies to members only. Which isn't entirely true, believe it or not. Antisocial behavior, manipulation, it means they manipulate shit, which is why you should never talk to them, because they're going to lie about everything. They will not tell you the truth no matter what, okay? Murder is a standard operating procedure. Churches do not believe, most churches do not believe in an actual police force, which is why no religious person, I would argue, under the separation of church and state, should ever be allowed to be a police officer, an FBI agent, or CIA agent for that matter, because they do not believe in police to begin with. So what is a person who doesn't agree with the existence of police going to do if they're a police officer? The answer is nothing. That is the answer. So they should not be allowed to do that. There are just a bunch of things by their own religion they should not be allowed to do, but they do it anyways because they do not care. It is about forcing their values surreptitiously on the other people through manipulation and passive-aggressive behavior. It is about love bombing, lying, and manipulating to get what you want, which were all the actions of an evil bastard. And that is how you know you are dealing with an evil bastard, because they do what evil do. And when you throw out your values, you have no value as a person. Now, my page is about my interaction with this church and just how ridiculous and above and beyond and how far out of hand everything went. And these fuckers would not stop, regardless of how bad it got, regardless of how many atrocities they committed, regardless of all the fucking bullshit they did, and then they sat around saying everything was my fault. When actuality, the word is accountability, something men have, and everybody in this church believes they're a man when they're a stupid fucking child. And the truth about all serial killers and psychopaths is they're emotionally stunted children that act on impulse, and they're not smooth operators, they're not super smart, they're not super intelligent. They're trained to do a bunch of bullshit from a fucking church that taught them to act in this way to get away with what they're doing. And the other part is their enablers, which are the church members that'll do anything to make sure their malignant narcissistic leader can get away with literal murder. These people will let the narcissistic leader murder their own kids. This actually happened in Ackworth, Georgia. A woman let their fucking church leader murder her kid for religion. And this is an important aspect of how deprived and mentally unwell these people are, and why all religion needs to go away forever.